Let's try this again. Is this actually going to work this time? Hey, so far it is. Welcome back to another episode of me cooking in the kitchen and hopefully things going right. Generally they do. I forgot one thing. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Okay, so we don't believe in take twos. I'm very aware of that. If you're still watching this, hello. If you're not still watching this, also okay. So, welcome back to episode 46. I have a new stand, which you can't see, but it is very fancy. It's got, unlike my last stand, which had zero bubbleizer, equalizers, whatever you want to call them. This one has, sorry, I have to catch my breath. Whew. This one has at least two. It's much fancier than the old one because the old one broke. I did excellent. Okay. So I have a new stand that got here yesterday, officially. Surprisingly, and also super cool, I ordered for delivery, and someone actually came, so it came from Best Buy. Someone came and physically put it in front of my door. I didn't know they did that, but that's pretty cool. Let's get started. What do you say? I would like to announce, by the way, that I have accomplished something I don't think I've ever accomplished before in life, and that is I ran through an entire bottle of Pam for greasing things. I'll put that right there. I find that hilarious that happened because, Pam is like one of those WD-40 things where, you don't go through a lot, even if you cook a lot. To my knowledge, you don't really go through it a lot. So I had to get some new Pam literally today, which was fun. The only thing, as usual, that is different today is don't do that, bud. Do the opposite, bud. What even is that? That's weird. Not a potato, that's what that is. Do two more. The only thing that's different today is, as usual, I have put the steak out to quote-unquote thaw or heat up or come back to normal temperature, but beyond that, everything else is as it usually would be. And yeah, if you are joining me today, as always, thank you for joining me. Please forget to like and subscribe and comment, because we all know I'm not doing this for the clout or for the likes or anything else. I'm doing this because life is not a highlight reel. It is mistakes after mistakes, and then once in a while you get it right and it's pretty cool, and then you do something else again and a lot of mistakes happen. So, you might be asking why I'm standing like this. I have something in front of my sink that I need to take out, actually. I just haven't taken it out yet. I was going to wait until 6 to do this, because 6 is my normal dinner time, but I have been awake for a long time, and I didn't eat a ton today, and I'm hungry, so why not? If you can see it, please ignore the clock on the stove. My power went out yesterday in the morning, and it did not come back on for a moment, and I have not fixed that yet. So, oopsies. We're gonna cut potatoes first, so I'm gonna be quiet for a minute while I cut potatoes, because as we all know, me with a knife in his hand, not always the best. We're gonna do the seasoning in a minute. I hope while you're watching you are enjoying this angle, because the tripod is pretty nifty. What we'll do, we will, because we're smart, we are smart, we will put the seasoning in here again on the bottom. Don't do that. This is probably going to be way too many potatoes today. That is, average for me. That's okay. It's something I need for... See, I thought if I did less potatoes, but I guess I didn't do less potatoes today, and that is okay, Again, we're learning. Next time I'm going to count the amount of potatoes, because I didn't count this time, and I should have. Oh well. Ready? For those of you who know my Single Ladies dance, with the creepiest smile on my face possible, I would do my Party Rock Anthem dance, but actually, let's see, can I do it? Not really. That's okay though. I was just doing it to, mix those up better, and I think that worked out pretty well. Oh, I need to clean that out eventually. Not bad, not disgusting, just... When you add things like seasoning to other things, you gotta clean it out sometimes, which is something to forget. Yes, I know. We're gonna turn that down. We're gonna turn this on. Let's see. Let us just go right into it. Why not? Or, oh, actually, what I want to do before that is season the pan itself. Because why not? Alright. So I hope everyone's having a good day today. If you are not watching this live, I don't blame you. I do forgive you because it is nice outside. And it is early to have dinner, but I am hungry and I'm an adult. And so I decided I'm going to have dinner a little bit early today. I don't know how much you can see over here, but there's an area I also got to kind of clean up. Cool, that works. So yeah, I hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good day. Oh, yes, there we go. This is the second of 2 steaks I had of this package. So next, later in the week, I might do, count it. I might do lamb chops next week, or later I might do chicken again. We will see. This is episode 46. I would like to kind of do something special for 50, but we'll see what happens. Some other things, while things are cooking, I'm going to grab my Gatorade. It's so weird because like the bubbles versus my bubbler on my phone don't agree right now, and that's okay. I just got to get used to this new stand. It said it's supposed to be 58 inches tall, 58 inches tall, but I can only get it to like 50. It was the most like, don't laugh too hard when I say this, but it was like the most main experience I've had in a while, where I ripped open the direction, I ripped open the package, not ripped open, but I figured out the package. I moved the instructions aside, and then afterwards I was like, I need the instructions to figure out how to use this thing. So I'm missing about 8 inches right now on this, so next time we do this, hopefully you will be at a higher angle. If not, forgive me on that one. But let me tell you, this stand is like professional, and I think it was cheaper than my first stand, which I am not complaining about right now. My first stand is someplace, but it is, this one is, excuse me, has a wider base. The other one had a much smaller base at the bottom. This one, I mean, I'll put a picture of it, but it's very nice. Shout out to Best Buy for that, even though they are not sponsoring me. Let's see. Other new things. I upped my weight at the gym today, and I upped my endurance level on the elliptical today. That was fun. Because remember, kids, when you become an adult, life kind of gets boring super quick. That might work. Not the worst, not the best. That's what we're going for, somewhere right in the middle. I should have probably trimmed some fat off of here, but it's also just a weird, like, it's a weird triangle that's like concaving in itself, which is kind of weird. I'm also, and someone can laugh about this in the comments, I was actually excited to cook this time. Same with last 2 times ago was probably the most fun I've had cooking in a while. Last time was still pretty good, but need a little improvement. And today, I'm just kind of like, hey, I want to do this. I started a new book called Holly by Stephen King. If you have read The Outsider / Mr. Mercedes Finders Keepers End of Watch trilogy, she's in there. Ironically, I read Never Flinch before this book, and Never Flinch is about Holly as well. So I'm like reading a prequel, like the 5th book in the series or whatever, after reading the 6th book in the series. It's funny because King even says, like, she was not meant to be a full book character. She was meant to come in, do a side part, and then peace out. Unfortunately, she's kind of stuck, well, fortunately, she stuck around. Which, if my math is right, and usually in books and movies and TV shows it is right, if she has one more story she's involved in, she will have the same amount of stories that Roland, the gunslinger from the Dark Tower series, has. Because that's 7 books total, I believe, including a short story, which I haven't read. I read the first 3. Yes? I've read at least the first two that I remember. It's been a while. But I read I read the first three, and then I kind of gave that up for a minute because it felt very forced in the moment. And also, if you've seen the Dark Tower movie, it is not at all like the same. And I actually had a fan of Stephen King's writing tell me it's not. You gotta think of it as not the same characters, but it's the same universe. And I was like, that makes sense because they took 7 books. Because it's been around for a while, and they crammed them into 90 minutes. That was disgusting. I was hoping for they even on the reports that were put on about this movie, Matthew McConaughey is Randolph Flagg, who is pretty sure that's his name, if I remember correctly. Randolph Flagg is also the bad guy from The Stand. For those of you who don't know, Randolph Flagg in Stephen King books is a lot like Castle Rock, where he just puts that character in as a antagonist whenever he. He'll randomly just be like, "Hey, antagonist, Randolph Flagg." He's even said in various interviews that Randolph Flagg is always hiding in the off stage, ready to pounce again. But the Gunslinger, he has been in 7 books, and Holly has been in, I want to say 6 of the short story, but I do not recall. And then the other funny thing is, I read the first couple books of Amazon. There's no way this is ready to go yet. No way. It is 71.6 degrees, 71.9 degrees in our kitchen. Stephen King even admitted when he was writing the Dark Tower series that he saw whatever movie it was, and he's like, I'm going to write about that. And it seems very much like I have to write about this. And part of it feels very forced, and I was even reading one of the books, I'm like, this is not good. So, I had to take a break from it. I would like to eventually I would like to go back to it eventually. But I also want to, I tried reading 11/22/63, I think it is. Yeah. And I got about 90 pages into that, and then life took over, so I wasn't able to finish it, but I do want to finish it because I know it became a mini-series for Hulu, or I think it was Hulu. But after I finished reading Holly, which so far is pretty good, I'm going to jump over to probably reading 11/22/63, and then we'll see from there. I also read the book The Last Lecture, which is a nonfiction book about a trigger warning professor who found out he's dying from cancer, and what he would do for his, and he was offered his a last lecture, and it's now been changed to something else for like naming posterity reasons. I don't like how the steak is looking right now. It's a little rubbery. I just said rubbery for a steak. Look at me being all awesome like that. So the last lecture is about how this professor, who was a professor at Carnegie Mellon and Virginia, about how he is living out his last little bit and what he's going to say in his last lecture. And it was a very good book. It was written years ago, so unfortunately he did pass, but it was basically about, hey, follow your dreams, you know? This is just not cooking the way I wanted to cook. Maybe it didn't let it thaw enough. That could have been a problem. It's not looking the way I want it to look. Those of you who have not been following my live streaming for video games, played as Old Dominion because they were independent. Went to 12-0, 13-0, won a national championship, lost the Heisman, that's okay though. Set a couple nice records. Met probably like half to 3/4 of my goals. Got to play in the Rose Bowl game because that was the national championship that year. So, yeah, it was a pretty good run. What I'd like to know is, excuse me, I'm not saying I will, but does anyone have any thoughts about another video game I should play? The rules are very simple. Keep it appropriate. And, yeah, that's basically the rules. Oh, I also have the system for it. So, here's the other rule. I need this to be like 135, so I'm going to take everything else out right now. And then... So, broccoli's going to go on right now. The potatoes, you can boil and mash up, stick with the stew, same way BMG. Tom Grossi, who I've talked about before on here, who's doing his second 30 and 30, where he visits 30 NFL stadiums in 30 days to fundraise for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. He is halfway through, and he has raised $500,000, which is pretty awesome. Oh, you weren't supposed to do that. That's okay though. So that's pretty dope. Alright, what are we at? 137, okay, cool. 140, let's flip this over. We might be good. Alright, we are good. I'm going to give this one last little squeeze. Thank you for joining me for another comedy of error cooking in the kitchen. I will update what it actually is later because the first time I went live it didn't work out too well, which was not fun. Gotta turn this off. And I will... Ooh, coughing, it's a thing. Thank you for joining me today. Let me try that again. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you the next time I make a meal, or dinner, or sometime later this week. I don't know. I will find it out. We'll figure that out together, because you'll see me on here. This goes right there. It's a smaller portion. That's okay. All right. Thanks for having dinner with me.